Gemini, someone close to you is hiding a deep secret, and here's why it matters. Have you ever felt like there's a hidden layer beneath the surface of your relationships, something unspoken, yet so deeply felt? If so, you're not alone. Sometimes, the people closest to us carry burdens that are hard to see, but they affect us in ways we may not fully understand. You may have sensed a subtle shift in energy, a quiet tension that lingers around someone you care about. Maybe this person seems a bit distant, or perhaps their behavior has changed in ways that are hard to pinpoint. This feeling is more than just your imagination. It's your intuition picking up on something important, a hidden truth waiting to be revealed. There's a secret that someone close to you is carrying, and it's linked directly to you. This secret isn't just a trivial matter. It's something that holds deep emotional weight, something they feel ashamed of and, perhaps, fearful of exposing. But what if uncovering this truth could help heal a relationship and bring clarity where there has been confusion? In this moment, Gemini, the universe is guiding you towards this truth, inviting you to peel back the layers and face what has been concealed. The journey ahead may be filled with discomfort, but it also holds the potential for growth, understanding, and transformation. By opening yourself to the deeper energies at play, you will discover not just the secret, but the wisdom that lies in how you choose to navigate this revelation. So, if you've been feeling something is off or notice changes in someone's behavior, trust your instincts. The truth is closer than you think, and it's time to uncover it together. Stay with me, Gemini, as we delve deeper into the secret that has been hiding in plain sight. Gate 1. The hidden guilt and its effects on you. Gemini, your mind is sharp, your thoughts quick, and your heart open to the many complexities of human relationships. You are known for your adaptability, your wit, and your ability to see all sides of a situation. However, there are moments when even your keen intellect cannot fully decode the subtle energies that shift within your inner circle. And right now, something has shifted. Someone close to you is hiding a secret, a heavy burden of guilt, and it's affecting you more than you might realize. You may not have put your finger on it yet, but the signs are there. The way this person behaves around you has subtly changed. It could be a close friend, a family member, or even someone with whom you once shared an intimate connection. They've started to act differently, choosing their words carefully, avoiding eye contact, or showing a false sense of politeness that wasn't there before. These changes may seem insignificant at first, but they carry with them an undeniable truth. Something is being hidden from you. Let me tell you a story of a woman I once knew, a Gemini who noticed a similar shift in her closest friend, someone she had always been able to speak to freely. They would meet for coffee, laugh together, and share their deepest thoughts. But over time, something changed. Her friend, whom she had once trusted with her life, began acting distant. There were long silences where there used to be laughter. Her friend started to avoid certain topics, and their conversations seemed to feel stilted. When they spoke, there was an odd tension, like a weight in the air that neither could fully acknowledge. At first, she wondered if she had done something wrong. Did she say something that offended her? Was there an issue that she wasn't aware of? But after listening to her intuition, she realized that the discomfort wasn't coming from her, it was coming from her friend. It was as though there was something her friend was keeping hidden, and it had cast a shadow over their once easy connection. Her instinct was right. There was a secret, one that had been growing in silence for months, and it was something far more profound than she could have imagined. The secret? Her friend had betrayed her in a way that they couldn't even fully understand at the time. They had made choices that affected her life in a significant way, choices that left her feeling abandoned and unsupported. Yet, rather than confessing their mistakes, they chose to withdraw, to pretend that nothing had changed. The guilt they carried was so immense that it seeped into their every interaction, even though they tried to hide it. This story, Gemini, mirrors the situation you might be experiencing right now. There is someone in your life who has done something they deeply regret, something that involves you, your trust, and the very foundation of your relationship. You've noticed it, even if you can't pinpoint it yet. The way they've become more careful with their words, the hesitation in their voice when they speak to you, and the way they seem to avoid certain conversations are all signs of this hidden guilt. But what is it that they are hiding, and why is it affecting you so deeply? To understand the full scope of this, let's break it down. The secret this person is keeping is not just about a small mistake. It's something that weighs heavily on their conscience. They may feel they've betrayed you, either by speaking ill of you to others or by not being there for you when you needed them the most. Perhaps they've failed to support you in a crucial moment, or they've made choices that indirectly affected your opportunities. Let me tell you about another story that might help you understand this more clearly. There was once a man who had a deep connection with a Gemini. They had been friends for years, and he had always looked up to her. She was smart, capable, and had an effortless charm that made everyone around her feel at ease. But when the time came for him to support her in a moment of need, he faltered. He allowed other people to sway his opinion about her, and instead of defending her, he remained silent. This silence, this failure to stand up for her, created a ripple in their relationship, a ripple that turned into a wave of guilt. He knew that by not supporting her, he had indirectly hurt her. He hadn't been there when she needed him most, and that feeling of guilt grew every day. Over time, his avoidance grew too. He avoided looking her in the eye, avoided bringing up certain topics, and carefully chose his words whenever they spoke. She, being the sensitive Gemini she was, could feel this energy. She could sense that something was off, even though he never directly acknowledged what had happened. This dynamic, Gemini, is often what you feel when someone close to you is hiding something. The hidden guilt creates a dissonance between the two of you, an energy imbalance that only you can truly sense. It's not paranoia, and it's not your imagination. It's your intuitive ability at work. You are feeling the weight of this unspoken truth, and it is affecting how you perceive this person. The more they withhold the truth, the greater the emotional imbalance between you. What's important here, Gemini, is to realize that this guilt, while painful for the person hiding it, is not yours to bear. Their actions may have affected you, but the shame they feel is theirs alone. This guilt is a reflection of their own moral compass, their own values, and their own internal conflict. It's a sign of their struggle to reconcile what they've done with who they believe themselves to be. But the longer they hide the truth, the more it will weigh on them, and the more it will affect your connection. In the case of the man and his Gemini friend, the relationship was fractured not by a single betrayal, but by the inability to face the truth and communicate openly. The shame that he carried prevented him from being honest, and as a result, their friendship began to erode. Gemini, the universe does not wish for you to go through this alone. It's bringing you this message so that you can prepare yourself for what comes next. It may not be easy, but you will need to find the courage to face this person, to ask the questions that need to be asked, and to create the space for them to be honest with you. This will not only bring clarity, but it will also allow both of you to heal. What is the next step? The universe is guiding you toward a moment of revelation, a moment when the truth will come to light. It may feel like a difficult conversation, one that requires vulnerability and courage, but in the end, it will set both of you free. And as a Gemini, you will have the wisdom to navigate this challenge with grace and understanding. Gate 2. The loss and the end of a chapter. Gemini, one of the most profound aspects of life is the inevitable cycle of endings and beginnings. You, of all people, understand this deeply. You are a mutable sign, one who is always adapting, learning, and evolving. Change doesn't frighten you. It excites you even. Yet, there are certain types of endings that are more difficult to navigate, especially when they are tied to relationships, trust, and deep emotional connections. The secret that is being hidden from you, Gemini, is more than just a betrayal or a minor transgression. It is the end of something important. Perhaps it's the end of a chapter in a relationship that you thought was stable and unshakable. The person close to you may have made choices that have caused an irreversible shift, one that marks the end of a particular dynamic you shared. And though this ending is cloaked in secrecy, it is also a pivotal moment, a turning point that will shape both of your journeys. This chapter, dear Gemini, may have begun with innocent intentions. Relationships often start with hope, trust, and a sense of shared purpose. But as time passes, things change. People evolve, circumstances shift, and the energy that once flowed freely between two people can become distorted. What was once a beautiful connection can, over time, become strained by misunderstandings, unmet expectations, and, sometimes, the weight of unspoken truths. Let me share a story of a woman named Sarah. She was a Gemini who had been friends with someone for years. Their friendship was built on shared memories, laughter, and trust. But as time went on, Sarah noticed subtle shifts in her friend's behavior. At first, it was small things. Her friend no longer reached out as often, their conversations became more surface level, and there was an overall sense of distance that Sarah couldn't explain. As Sarah's intuition began to pick up on these changes, she tried to reach out, to bridge the gap, but her friend kept pulling away. Sarah felt the weight of this shift in energy, and though she didn't know it at the time, it was because her friend was hiding something, a secret that was slowly eroding the foundation of their relationship. It wasn't just that her friend had done something wrong, it was that the very nature of their connection had changed. What Sarah eventually discovered was that her friend had made choices that undermined the trust between them. In her desire to protect herself, her friend had distanced herself emotionally, avoiding difficult conversations that could have helped repair the rift. But instead, those unspoken truths hung in the air like an invisible cloud, slowly smothering the friendship they once shared. Gemini, this story may echo something in your life right now. Perhaps you've noticed the subtle erosion of a connection, a relationship that once felt solid, now weakened by the weight of silence and avoidance. The ending of this chapter, whether it's the loss of trust, the failure to communicate, or the betrayal of a shared bond, is a painful but necessary shift. And while endings are difficult, they are also the precursors to new beginnings, if you can find the courage to face them head-on. The key here, Gemini, is to understand that this ending is not just a negative event, but an opportunity for growth. As someone who thrives on transformation, you have the ability to look at the end of this chapter not as something to mourn, but as something to embrace. It is an opportunity to release what no longer serves you, to let go of the old and make space for something new. You might feel the weight of this loss more acutely than you expect. There's a deep emotional investment that comes with any relationship, especially those that are tied to your heart and soul. The energy of the relationship may still linger in your thoughts and in your heart, but you must recognize that the relationship has already shifted. The person who has been hiding this secret from you is not the same person they were before. They've changed, and so has the connection between you. One of the most challenging aspects of this process is the grief that accompanies the end of a chapter. It's not always a clear-cut loss, Gemini. Sometimes it's more like a fading light, a slow drift away from something that once felt whole. And in that space of loss, there is often a sense of confusion. You might find yourself wondering how things went wrong, why this shift happened, or whether it was your fault. But remember, Gemini, endings are not always about failure. They are part of the natural rhythm of life, and they can carry the seed of renewal. What this moment offers you is the chance to reflect on what you've learned, what you've gained, and what you need to leave behind. This chapter may be closing, but a new one is waiting for you, one that is more aligned with the person you are becoming. In many cases, the person hiding the secret may not even realize the extent of the shift they've caused. They may not understand how deeply their actions or inactions have impacted you. But this is where your wisdom as a Gemini comes into play. You are uniquely equipped to see both sides of a situation, to understand the complexities of human behavior, and to offer compassion even in the face of hurt. But before you move forward, you must allow yourself to fully acknowledge the ending. You may need to take time to process the emotions that arise: grief, sadness, anger, or even relief. All of these feelings are valid, and they are part of the journey. Don't rush through them. Let them wash over you. Allow yourself to feel them fully, and then, when the time is right, let them go. Only then can you fully step into the next phase of your journey. Imagine for a moment, Gemini, that you are standing at the threshold of a door, looking back at the chapter you are about to leave behind. You can still feel the echoes of the laughter, the warmth of the connection, and the hope that once existed. But now, the door is closing. It's time to step through and embrace the next chapter, one that holds the promise of fresh beginnings, new relationships, and deeper wisdom. The universe has a way of bringing us to a point where we are ready to let go of what no longer serves us. This secret, this loss, and this ending are all part of the grand design, leading you toward the transformation that is waiting for you. So, Gemini, allow yourself to mourn what's been lost, but also open your heart to what lies ahead. The end of this chapter is not the end of your story. It's merely the beginning of a new one. And as you step forward, you will find that the wisdom you've gained through this experience will guide you toward greater understanding, deeper connection, and a more authentic version of yourself. Gate 3. Spiritual love and soul connection. Gemini, you are a sign that thrives on communication, intellectual connection, and the exchange of ideas. Yet, deep within you lies a longing for something more, a connection that transcends a mind, a bond that speaks to the very soul. You crave relationships that are not just about surface-level interactions, but those that touch the deepest parts of who you are, relationships that are guided by spirit, by something beyond the physical. You are drawn to love that goes beyond the ordinary, to connections that feel fated, destined, or even spiritual. In the context of the secret someone close to you is hiding, this might be the moment where the universe is urging you to look at love through a new lens, one that is not clouded by the weight of betrayal or unspoken truths, but rather, one that is guided by your spiritual wisdom. There is a deeper level of love and connection that is available to you, Gemini, one that transcends the material and the fleeting. But it requires you to first heal, to embrace the truth, and to open your heart to the possibilities of spiritual love. Let me share a story to illustrate this. There was once a Gemini woman named Maya who had a relationship that seemed perfect on the outside. She and her partner shared everything, from their hopes and dreams to their fears and vulnerabilities. Yet, despite the outward harmony, Maya often felt that something was missing. It wasn't that the love wasn't there, it was. But there was a part of her soul that craved a deeper connection, a bond that wasn't limited by human frailties. Maya began to experience a subtle pull within her, a feeling that there was more to love than what she had known. She sensed that the love she shared with her partner was not just a physical or emotional bond, but one that had a spiritual component, a soul connection that had yet to be fully realized. Yet, in order to access that deeper connection, Maya had to face something that had been hidden from her. There were unspoken truths, unresolved feelings, and a secret her partner was carrying that was preventing them both from fully embracing the spiritual depth of their love. When Maya finally uncovered the truth, it wasn't about anger or betrayal, it was about understanding. She realized that her partner's secret wasn't a sign of disrespect, but rather a reflection of their own inner struggles and fears. This realization shifted the way Maya saw their relationship. It wasn't just a connection based on shared interests or mutual affection. It was a soul bond that required healing, transparency, and emotional growth. What Maya learned, and what you, Gemini, are being invited to understand, is that spiritual love is not about perfection or the absence of mistakes. It is about the willingness to evolve, to face the difficult truths, and to grow together. Spiritual love is a dynamic force. It is not static or bound by conditions. It is expansive, transformative, and deeply healing. And while it may require work, sacrifice, and vulnerability, it holds the potential to transcend the limitations of ordinary love and create a bond that is eternal. This is where you are, Gemini. The truth that is being hidden from you is not just about a betrayal or a mistake. It is about a moment in your relationship that will allow both of you to transcend the ordinary and experience something deeper. The secret that is being concealed is a barrier that stands between you and the spiritual love you seek. Once this truth is revealed, you will have the opportunity to create a connection that is not just about emotional intimacy, but about soul-level unity. But before you can reach this level of connection, Gemini, you must first face the reality of what is hidden. The discomfort you feel, the unease in your relationship, is the universe's way of pushing you both toward healing and understanding. You must allow yourself to look beyond the surface and recognize that this situation is not just about right or wrong, it is about growth. It is about understanding that people make mistakes, but that those mistakes do not define their worth or the potential for love. Let me take you a little deeper. When you connect with someone on a spiritual level, it's often because there is a deep, unseen bond between your souls, a connection that transcends the material world. Perhaps you and this person have crossed paths before in other lifetimes, or perhaps there is a greater purpose to your meeting that you cannot fully comprehend yet. This connection may not always be easy, and it may come with its share of challenges, but it is this very bond that can help you both grow in ways that you never thought possible. Spiritual love requires you to look beyond the mistakes, beyond the guilt, and beyond the betrayals. It requires you to tap into the essence of who you are, your true self, the part of you that understands the eternal nature of love. Once you tap into this energy, you will begin to see the relationship in a new light. You will understand that the secret, while painful, is just another step in your spiritual evolution. This is why the universe is guiding you toward this revelation, Gemini. It is not simply about uncovering the truth. It is about the opportunity for deep healing, for transforming your connection into something much more profound. When the truth comes to light, you will have the chance to create a love that is not bound by the past, but that is rooted in the present moment. You will have the chance to build a foundation that is stronger than before, one that is based on understanding, vulnerability, and deep, soul-level connection. Imagine, Gemini, that this secret, this hidden truth, is like a veil that has been covering your soul connection. The moment it is lifted, your relationship will no longer be clouded by doubt or unresolved emotions. You and this person will be able to see each other clearly, without the weight of guilt or shame hanging over you. This is the gift that spiritual love offers. It is a love that heals, a love that transcends the material world and connects you to something much greater. As you face the truth, embrace the opportunity for growth, Gemini. Allow yourself to move beyond the surface-level discomfort and into the deeper layers of your connection. Spiritual love is not about avoiding conflict. It is about using those moments of tension to grow, to evolve, and to create a bond that is unbreakable. Gate 4. Healing through forgiveness and acceptance. Gemini, there is a profound healing power that resides in forgiveness, but it's not always easy to access. Forgiveness requires more than just letting go of anger or resentment. It involves a deep level of understanding and emotional maturity that allows us to move beyond pain and open ourselves to the possibility of renewal. In the context of a secret that someone close to you has been hiding, Gemini, this is the place where you are being called to go deeper. This is where true healing can happen, but only if you're ready to embrace the transformative power of acceptance. You see, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean that what was done was okay or that it didn't hurt. Forgiveness is about liberating yourself from the emotional grip of the past so that you can move forward. It's about freeing your heart from the weight of resentment and opening up to the possibility of new beginnings. But this can only happen when you truly understand the layers of pain and emotion that both you and the person who is hiding the secret are experiencing. Let's take a moment to reflect on a story that may help illustrate the power of forgiveness. A man named Tom had a close friend, someone he had known for many years. They had shared laughter, tears, and countless memories together. But over time, Tom's friend began to pull away. Their conversations grew more distant, and there was an unspoken tension that lingered between them. Tom sensed something was wrong, but it wasn't until much later that he learned the truth. His friend had been hiding a deep secret, one that involved a betrayal of trust. At first, Tom was angry. He felt betrayed, hurt, and confused. How could his friend, someone he trusted so deeply, have done this to him? There were many moments of frustration and sadness, and it felt like their friendship was shattered beyond repair. But Tom didn't let this pain define him. Instead, he sought to understand why his friend had acted in such a way. He realized that his friend's actions were not just about him. They were also rooted in their own fears, insecurities, and struggles. Tom could see that his friend had carried this secret for so long that it had become a heavy burden, one that prevented them from truly facing their own emotional truth. In time, Tom decided that the path forward was one of forgiveness. He didn't excuse his friend's actions, but he chose to release the anger and hurt. He understood that by holding on to these negative emotions, he was only allowing them to continue to affect him, to rob him of his peace. So, Tom found the strength to forgive. He did this not because his friend deserved it, but because he knew that in order for him to heal, he had to let go of the emotional weight that was dragging him down. Forgiveness, Gemini, is not just for the person who has wronged you. It is for you, too. It is for your own peace of mind, your own healing, and your own emotional well-being. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the chains of bitterness and resentment. You allow yourself to move forward, to release the past, and to open up to the possibility of growth and transformation. In your case, the person hiding the secret is likely feeling immense guilt and shame. They are carrying an emotional burden that has kept them from being able to face you openly. Their own struggles may have caused them to act in ways that they now deeply regret. And while their actions may have hurt you, Gemini, it's important to understand that their pain and guilt are equally profound. They may be struggling with their own sense of self-worth, their own feelings of inadequacy, or even their own fear of how you might react when the truth comes to light. This is where the healing power of acceptance comes in. Acceptance is not about condoning what was done. It is about acknowledging the pain, both yours and theirs, and allowing space for healing to begin. When you accept the truth of the situation, when you acknowledge the hurt and the struggles of both parties, you create an environment in which healing can occur. Acceptance opens the door to compassion, to empathy, and to a deeper understanding of both yourself and the person who has wronged you. Let me tell you about a situation where acceptance transformed a relationship. A Gemini woman named Lucy had been in a long-term relationship where trust had been broken. Her partner had lied to her about something significant, and when the truth was finally revealed, she felt devastated. For a long time, she could not reconcile her feelings of betrayal with her desire to heal the relationship. But as she took time to reflect, Lucy realized that the relationship was worth saving, not because her partner was perfect, but because they were both willing to work through the pain together. Lucy came to understand that her partner's actions were not just about her. They were the result of their own struggles, their own fears, and their own imperfections. She chose to accept them, to acknowledge the hurt, and to move forward with a commitment to healing. This wasn't easy. It required deep introspection, emotional vulnerability, and an understanding that true love isn't about perfection. It's about working through challenges together. As a Gemini, you are naturally curious and compassionate. You have the ability to understand both sides of any situation, and this is where your true strength lies. You can choose to see the bigger picture, the one that includes both your pain and the pain of the person who has wronged you. By accepting the situation, you allow yourself to move beyond the hurt and embrace the potential for healing. In doing so, you are not just forgiving the person who has hurt you, you are forgiving yourself, too. You are choosing to let go of any resentment, guilt, or pain that has kept you tethered to the past. You are giving yourself the freedom to grow, to evolve, and to create a future that is no longer defined by the past. Gemini, this moment of forgiveness and acceptance is one of the most powerful steps you can take. It is not easy, but it is necessary. It is the key that will unlock the door to healing, to peace, and to a deeper connection with yourself and those you care about. When you release the weight of anger and resentment, you make space for love, compassion, and understanding to flow freely into your life. The act of forgiveness is not just a gift to others, it is a gift to yourself. By embracing the healing power of acceptance, you open yourself to a future filled with greater emotional balance, deeper connections, and a renewed sense of inner peace. Conclusion: embracing the transformation and moving forward. Gemini, the journey you've just undertaken has not been an easy one. You've navigated the deep waters of hidden truths, unspoken secrets, painful realizations, and the complex dynamics of relationships. Along the way, you've faced moments of tension, discomfort, and perhaps even heartache. But through it all, you've discovered something invaluable: the power of truth, the healing potential of forgiveness, and the transformative nature of love when approached with understanding and compassion. As you stand at this crossroads, looking back at the path you've walked, it's important to recognize the incredible strength that has carried you through. You may have been shaken by the emotional weight of what you've learned, but you've also been given the opportunity to heal, to evolve, and to deepen your relationships in ways you never thought possible. The truth that was hidden from you has now been revealed, and with that revelation comes the gift of growth. You may feel a sense of relief, as if a heavy burden has been lifted from your heart. Or perhaps you're still processing the emotions that this truth has stirred up. Whatever it may be, know that this is a powerful moment of transformation. It is an opportunity to shed old patterns, to release the past, and to embrace a future that is shaped by authenticity, compassion, and emotional balance. As a Gemini, you have an incredible ability to adapt, to learn, and to find new perspectives. You are naturally equipped to move forward from difficult situations, not by burying your emotions, but by using them as stepping stones for growth. What you've experienced may have tested your patience and your heart, but it has also taught you the power of vulnerability, the importance of clear communication, and the beauty of emotional resilience. Now, you are being called to embrace the future with open arms. This is your time to reclaim your inner peace, to strengthen the bonds you hold dear, and to build a foundation of love and trust that is rooted in honesty and healing. There will always be challenges in life, but it is how you respond to them that defines your journey. You have the ability to transform difficult moments into opportunities for growth, and that is what will carry you forward. This revelation, this secret that was hidden from you, may have caused you to question the foundation of your relationship, but it has also brought clarity. You now have the opportunity to create a new chapter, one that is based on mutual understanding, respect, and emotional honesty. This is not the end, Gemini. It is a new beginning. And as you move forward, remember this. Forgiveness, acceptance, and love are not just acts of kindness toward others. They are acts of kindness toward yourself. When you forgive, you free yourself from the emotional weight that holds you back. When you accept, you allow space for healing and transformation. And when you choose to love, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. Gemini, you have the wisdom to see beyond the surface, to understand the complexities of human emotions, and to approach life's challenges with grace and resilience. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it is one that is filled with endless opportunities for growth, healing, and connection. So, as you continue on this journey, trust in yourself and in the process. The universe has a way of guiding you toward the lessons you need to learn, and you are more than capable of navigating whatever comes next. Embrace this moment as an opportunity to evolve, to deepen your relationships, and to create a future that is aligned with your highest potential. And remember, Gemini, you are never alone on this journey. The wisdom of the universe is always by your side, guiding you toward the love, peace, and understanding that you deserve. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and know that your heart is ready to move forward.